What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. I'm Judson Graham. This is Micah Stevens of Lifted PPG, and we are out here at the 2023 Arizona Flying Circus. Bro, before we even jump into this video, I'm gonna have to ask you to go down below, find that subscribe button, and smash that thing.
Taking notes.
Just smash it, and I am 100% the most genuine person on YouTube. I'm so sick of hearing that on YouTube. Like, it's just do this before we get into this.
Well, that was some tier 1 fun. This past weekend, my buddy Philip and I attended our first large-scale fly-in at the infamous Arizona Flying Circus, and I can now officially say that I understand the appeal. I have been hesitant to attend these for a few reasons. The sheer amount of chaos going on at any one time in the sky is reason enough to keep your distance. But aside from this, the number of eyes that are on you, adding pressure to your performance on launch or landing, or even worse, influencing you to do something cool, along with an extrovert heavy environment, it just never seemed like my cup of tea and a place that I would enjoy flying. But when Philip called me up with the idea of packing the paramotors into the Bonanza and making the would-be 13-hour drive into a 3-hour plane ride, my only hesitancy was now getting clearance from air traffic control, also known as my wife. This was really my first time flying from point A to B in a general aviation plane, and I can confidently say, without a doubt, it is the coolest way to travel. From flying over some of America's most beautiful and isolated landscapes, to landing at some of the most hospitable small airports with the cheapest 100 low lead, to parking the airplane at our campsite, it was a level of freedom and joy that I really have never experienced before. So a huge thank you goes to my friend Philip for those buttersmooth landings and making this trip as awesome as it was. As soon as we arrived, it was clear that the people at this fly-in were just like me, passionate about things that fly and eager to get to know the people that fly them. Shortly after our arrival, my good friend and colleague Judson Graham gave me the warmest hug I've ever received and then proceeded to show us around the airshow a little bit.
Cinematography by JG to the Judson Graham Graham.
We were immediately drawn to this funky little contraption here, which really ended up setting the tone for the weekend. Everything and everyone there in the middle of nowhere embodied this element of fun and looseness that I have not witnessed in such a large crowd ever before. So much so that even I felt like a little bit of a Karen wanting to yell at the kids to put a helmet on as they launched their tandem trike. Seriously, wear a helmet. But that being said, most of the shenanigans going on was really refreshing to watch and laugh at, especially in today's anti-fun culture. The signage scattered pretty much everywhere that encapsulates this perfectly was beware of, well, just beware. And there was certainly a long list to be aware of, such as bowling balls shot from a cannon falling from 1,000 feet, airplanes regularly taking off through the middle of the event, hordes of people chasing an airdrop of $1,000 in bills, and the deafening explosion of a .50 caliber hitting 10 pounds of tannerite at the gun range. Needless to say, an afternoon siesta really was not in the schedule. And of course, the butt fanning was pretty awesome as well, with nicely isolated slopes that offered awesome ridge soaring opportunities, the endless fractal type patterns of the desert shaped by the occasional rainfall, offering an endless course for safely buzzing the treetops, and not to mention the dense population of saguaro cactus, making for some epically risky pylon races. There really was no shortage of places to go and explore. And Saturday evening was probably my favorite flying session, where a lot of us launched at the same time and then headed due west following this road here, upwind in really smooth conditions. With 15 or so gliders within sight, all heading the same direction, I feel like I got an idea of the camaraderie migrating birds must feel. Philip and I traveled around 20 miles or so to another ideal soaring spot, rendezvoused with some eagles, and enjoyed more powerless lift on the windward side of those slopes.
So I just ridge soared that for a good 20 minutes or so. Landed to take a little whizaroo. This has been a very fun weekend. I've never been around this many pilots before, and it's so the camaraderie you feel both in the air and on the ground. Like, everybody's happy to talk to you. Everybody wants to hear your story, which is, I've never quite been to a place with so many other like-minded people. But anyway, we're out here in the middle of nowhere. Sun's starting to set, so, and we've been traveling this way for quite a while, so I think I'm gonna load back up, relay out, because the bushes aren't gonna work very well for me, I don't think, and head on back to camp.
After a slightly nerve-wracking launch, we enjoyed a sunset cruise-controlled putts downwind back to base and enjoyed a nice catered dinner with some bangin' brisket and other comfort food. The evening activities were pretty bangin' as well, with activities like Chinese lanterns, fireworks, flamethrower bro, and a casual 200 Christmas tree bonfire stuffed with still more fireworks. And these days being as long and stimulating as they were left me pretty beat, and the cool dry desert air made for perfect camping conditions without the need for an anti-stargazing rainfly. We both left the event feeling accomplished that we had made this trip happen, along with the memories and friends. Shout out to a couple subscribers to the channel, Dave and Joel, for saying hello. Can't wait to connect with you guys soon, and thank you for the kind, supportive words. The flight home wrapped up a really great weekend in such a perfect way, but not without its bumps closer to the steep slopes of the Rockies. Luckily, we had a very capable, heavy bird to cut through a lot of this chunk, and under the control of a very talented and regular flying pilot with ice in his veins. Always a pleasure to fly with you. My gut may have not felt awesome upon landing, but the smile that it felt like my whole body was exuding when we parked the airplane could not be overshadowed. What a great time. I cannot wait for the next adventure. Thanks for watching, friends. I'll be back next week with another instructional video. This is Lifted PPG. My name is Micah Stevens. Don't forget to take that deep breath, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Cheers.
Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.